Awesome, Alex. Thanks so much for joining us. Strange times for all of us, obviously. Um, but it sounds like you've been keeping pretty busy and doing lots of interesting stuff back home in Toronto. But I guess first of all, let's step back and your season. You both the women and the men's team had an outstanding year once again. But it was cut short, of course. You didn't have the Brown Cup. Obviously, disappointing to have that all cut short. Maybe just step back in time and tell us about how that kind of went down, and then how you transitioned into going back home and kind of started to try to adjust to what's been happening.
Yeah, totally. So we found out that Brown Cup, which is our main spring competition, had been canceled just a couple weeks before it was supposed to happen. And it was kind of leading up to it. We weren't super sure about what was going to happen. With everything starting to shut down, we weren't too optimistic, but classes went online, and then a couple days later we found out that we wouldn't be racing it this year, which was really unfortunate. We do have a bunch of graduating athletes who are sad to not be able to get that last race off. And I know that a lot of people were really looking forward to it after our fall season, because that was, a big win, especially on the men's side, racing that 8. They were looking forward to getting back to UVic and hopefully crushing them again. But, I guess it's just going to have to wait until next year. Unfortunately, it's looking like that's going to be one of our earlier big events next year, as our nationals just got canceled for the following year, which is too bad. But yeah, so after things got canceled, we had a couple more days of training, and then everyone kind of went into lockdown, was mostly just training on their own. We didn't get back onto the water until a few weeks ago, but thankfully we are back and able to train. I'm still in Toronto, so not training with everyone yet, but.
Yeah. So what has the training situation been looking like for you? Obviously, like you said, I mean, you can't be all together in boats just yet, but so a lot of dry land stuff for you. What have you been doing?
So the team has been doing a lot of Zoom workouts together. We're fortunate enough to have our assistant coach, Zoe. She's a really awesome personal trainer. So she's been leading workouts that have been really kicking all of our butts. And then we got some workouts from athletics that have been pretty good. We've been joining up on Zoom to do those at-home weights with deadlifts with towels and, just making do with whatever we have. I've been squatting my dog sometimes. Yeah, I've gotten into running, which my joints aren't super happy about, but it's been good to run around the city.
And as for, you were telling me as well about kind of a different sort of training that you'll be able to do. You're not able to be in the boat, but still doing some learning and coaching and working out kind of in a different way. So you would tell us about how you'll be adjusting, during all of this.
Yeah, totally. For anyone who doesn't know, my role on the team, I am a coxswain, which I sit at the back of the boat and I steer. So in my perspective, I just have one rower in front of me, and then I see 7 other oars. So I can't see what their bodies are doing most of the time. So as we are in smaller boats now, I'm not actually in the boat. So I'll have kind of have to adjust in that way. But it is actually kind of useful for me to be outside of the boat in a coach boat, because I can sort of try to see what their bodies are doing and then apply that to how their oars look during the year. So yeah, I'll be trying to make the most of that, maybe trying to get into small boats myself just to get a feel for rowing, and hopefully be able to translate that better to some calls that I make in the boat.
You mentioned training with your dog. I know dogs have been loving the pandemic. They're the only creatures I think that are loving it. But what has there been a bit of a silver lining in being able to spend some good family time, and that you probably may not have had otherwise?
Yeah, totally. It's definitely been nice being home. I see my brothers more than I usually would get to. My dad and I are sharing our 3rd floor as a workspace, so there's been a lot of no, I'm on a call. You be quiet. No, I'm on a call. But yeah, it's definitely been nice to be home and spending time with family. Before I came back, I was really lucky to have some awesome roommates, and we got some quality time, spending 24/7 together.
What else has been keeping you busy? Any hobbies or anything different that you've been taking up, whether it's for training or otherwise, just to stay busy during these weird times?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of painting since I've been home, which it's very calming. And I've been studying a little bit for the MCAT, which I'm hoping to write at the end of the summer or early fall. Yeah, and as well as I've got a job at Crohn's and Colitis Canada, so that's been taking up about 8 hours of my days. So it's just been really good to have something to do.
What's the number one thing you'll look forward to once once all this is over, hopefully sooner than later? Being able to meet up with people, being able to train together. What's the one thing that you're really missing the most?
I think actually it's going to sound weird because practices start at 5 a.m., but definitely really missing practice. Yeah, it's been hard not having the team around. It's something that for sure like keeps me really grounded, and it's all your friends. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with everyone again.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Alex. Appreciate you taking the time, and stay safe and keep up with the training, and good luck with the MCAT too.
Cool. Thanks so much. Thanks for chatting with me.